Hello and welcome back to Corby's puppetry course. This week we're starting a new making project and we're going to be making this fantastic marionette. Everything you need will be inside your puppet pack, so let's open it. So inside there'll be one bag with all of your plastic marionette pieces inside, one bag with your controls, a pair of cutters and a pair of pliers, a box labelled Milliput, which is a type of modelling clay, some files, and some instructions to go along with the sessions. So this is a wonderful 3D printed marionette kit made by the brilliant Nick from Noisy Oyster. There's two colours of plastic, there's a white version and a golden version. I'm going to make the golden version. So in this first session we're going to have a look at our plastic marionette pieces and clean them up so we can assemble our puppet next week. So for now we can put our bag with our controls away as well as our Milliput. And let's have a look at what we have left. So when you open up your plastic bag, these are the pieces you should have. You should have a head, a neck piece, a body piece, a waist piece, some lower legs, some upper arms, some lower arms, some hands, some feet, a little plug for the back, and this stuff which is called filament. There's also this little bag here with lots of little bits. Make sure you don't lose any of them. So it's also worth taking out these plastic bits here. We've got some see-through connector bits, and then these pieces will connect our legs and arms together. And then we have a tiny little head plug here, so make sure you don't lose that. So these puppets have been 3D printed. Now as you can see, there's lots of plastic bits on the outside that we need to pull off. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. We're going to be taking those bits off and cleaning them up, ready to assemble the puppet next week. The tools you will need are your cutters, your pliers, and your nail files. You'll also need this little tool from our bag of bits, which I'm going to call the pokey tool. I'm going to go through each piece one at a time and show you how to clear it up, but the process should be the same for all of our pieces. Now let's start off by looking at our head. So the piece we need to pull off is the bottom piece here. Now most of it should just pull straight off, so use your fingers and pull off all this excess stuff. You can also use your snippers to cut any little bits as well, but you may not have to. You'll be able to see that compared to the rest of this puppet, this little bit is a little bit rough. So all we need to do is grab one of our nail files and we're just going to sand this down and smooth it out so it matches the rest of the puppet. So you just need to give it a nice rub with your nail file. I like to go around in a circular motion, seems to work best for me. You can angle the nail file as well and that will round off the edge. And once this feels smooth, you can put this to the side. Next, we'll move on to our body. On this one, there's a big strip going along the back of it and a nice little plate at the bottom. So we need to snap off this strip and then we can snap off the bottom very carefully. And it's going to pull out just like that. And you'll see there's a nice little piece here. Now all we'll have to clear up is just this little bit around the bottom of the body. So give that a sand. I'd also recommend putting your nail file through this gap and just give that a little bit of a sand as well. When this is smooth, put it over by your head. Next, we're going to move on to this waist piece. For this piece, you'll need to clear up the bottom here, where you can see there's some rings over the top of this hole. So we're just going to pull this off. I'd use your file to just push through this gap here. And then it's back to sanding. Remember to put your nail file in between the gap as well. Let's move on to the hands next. With the hands, there's a little bit of plastic that goes along the side of the hand, so just pull those off. There's also a bit of plastic in the wrist of the hand. For this, I'd use your pokey tool to get it loose, and then you should be able to prise it open and pull it out. And just have a little fish around with your pokey tool, making sure that there's a nice big hole in the hands. And just a quick sand on these. Let's have a look at these two pieces here, which are the lower legs. There's just a little bit of plastic stuck in the knee joint, so pull it out with your fingers at first. And if you need to use your pokey tool, you can also use that. And then just sand around this area to make sure it's nice and smooth. Now the upper legs. There should just be a little bit of plastic stuck in this little hole here. So just pull that out with your fingers. It should come out nice and easily. And then give it a sand. Don't forget the gap in between. Now onto our upper arms. This might look familiar. There's just a little bit of plastic in this joint here. Now for the lower arms. It's the same as the other arm piece, just pull off this bit by the elbow joint. There's also a hole in here which leads through the arm, so we need to give this a push with our pokey tool. Just be nice and firm. And just be patient and slowly work it in. Give it a little wiggle and it should go straight through to the other side. And then when you've done that, go from the other way too. And now more sanding. Give the little insides of the joint a sand as well. The final body parts are the feet. Now they need clearing up on the underneath. So just have a little feel around and just peel the bits off by the heel and the toe. Now for the whole of the underside of the foot, give it a nice sand. Later we're going to put some foam over this, so don't worry too much if you can still see some of the stringy bits. Make sure on the heel to go upwards like this, as this will help the foot move when the puppet is together. So now you should have cleaned up all the pieces of your body. Have a look at the other little bits and just see if they need any sanding. All of these golden bits look good to me. It's just these little joints that need a little bit of sanding. So this one's nice and stringy, so just pull off the bits on there and then just give these a little bit of a sand. And there we go, we've cleaned up our puppet, so it's all ready to be assembled in our next session. You can put all of this excess plastic in the bin. I'd also recommend putting all your bits back in the bags so you don't lose any of the pieces. Fantastic! Make sure you join one of our puppetry sessions on Tuesdays 6 till 7 or Wednesdays 4 till 5, where you can catch up with me and I can help you out with any of the puppet making projects you're embarking on. I'll see you in the next session. Bye bye.